Welcome to Waypoint Connect. It's so great for me to be here on location with Ziggy. Ziggy, it's so great to be here with you.
Great to have you here.
Okay, so we in Joe Slovo, and this is Ekopumleni, and you shared that Ekopumleni means place of rest, a
Yes.
place where you come and regenerate.
Correct.
So for you, is this what this space is?
Yes, I can say it's a resting place where I can settle down and try to fit in the space in this surrounding area, but making sure that on the other side I'm trying to enlarge the capacity in which I share the skills that I have.
Yeah.
So it's a resting place in that sort.
And that's exactly why I wanted to have this conversation for you, because in as much as you get refreshed, restored, resting doesn't necessarily mean now I
Exactly.
sit back and I do nothing, because
it doesn't.
you're proactive, you make do with what you have, and you bring your passion, your skill, your excellence, and you do something amazing.
Exactly.
So what's that thing that you do, Ziggy?
Now I'm into upholstery. I'm doing upholstery, but at first I was into fashion, so it's more like I'm an all-rounder. That's what you can say. Most people do call me a handyman, but my focus currently now it's into upholstery, where I have to refurbish old couches and make something great out of them, because some people are not financially covered or stable in terms of buying new furnitures. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then they start having their old furnitures, and you see that they torn apart and everything, and they're broken. So I'm the kind of guy who comes in and say, I can revamp your home. I
Yeah.
can make it great.
I
It
can
become
restore that
exactly.
couch.
I can restore everything
I can
that you
take you to a
have.
place of resting.
Exactly.
And bring
A
you back
place
a
of
brand new
resting.
couch.
That's exactly what I do.
Now,
That's exactly what I do.
you're saying refurbish, but when I look at this, and especially the other one that's got more parts to
yeah.
it that's separate, this is more than just a restoring. And that's what I love about your skill. Is not you're not just an upholsterer.
Exactly.
You can take something that somebody would actually have discarded, and you would put that effort in, that attention, and then the finishing touches, and deliver a product that looks like it's for one of the big furniture shops in town.
Exactly. That's the whole point. Because at the end of the day, if they're going to take something and throw it away, I always believe in the fact that out of something that somebody doesn't believe in, we can build something from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't necessarily have to build it from scratch, but there's always life into something, regardless of how torn apart it is, regardless of how broken it is. We can always rebuild it and build a new life out of it, and make sure that it looks like something that has never been seen before.
And Ziggy, as we standing here in this location, what it just reminds me is that we're talking about furniture, but what me and you know, and what's beating in our hearts is the same is true for people. Is people have been discarded and left,
Exactly.
but we see the potential in them because God sees the potential in them,
Exactly.
and we reinvest, rebuild, put together, and then we help somebody realize that vision that God has for them in their lives. And that's what I picked up from your story as well. It's not about the furniture,
No.
but it's about the people. It's the people
Exactly.
you connect with, and it's your vision to draw unskilled people in, people that are willing to do something, and impart that skill that you have so that they can go and do the same for them.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what it's all about. At the end of the day, if I'm going to take something that God has given unto me and keep it for myself, I'm totally off the line. I'm totally off the will that God had for me. You know what I mean? So I believe in the fact that if there's something that God has given me, I have to share it amongst the people that I live with, because there's a purpose for them as well. But for me to withhold that, it's more like I'm not allowing myself to be the tool that God wanted me to be. So I have to allow myself to be that tool. This is what I'm doing. I'm being the tool that God has planned, and it's part of the will.
Yeah. And I'm going to diverge slightly, but that's why we're so passionate about MBCM, because our main focus is to do exactly that in communities.
Exactly.
Not look for somebody to come from outside, come
Exactly.
and bring an answer. I've got this problem, that solution sits outside of my community, but that solution sits inside of my community, locked up in the potential of people that are next to me. And we need to find people like you that are understanding. I cannot be about myself anymore.
Exactly.
If I love my father enough, I'm about his business, and
Exactly.
his business is people.
It's more diverse.
Yes.
That's true. That's the great stuff about the MPCM. You know what I mean? It brought an initiative that we couldn't, within ourselves, expand. You know, because at some point we do want to develop ourselves, we do want to share amongst ourselves, but sometimes we don't have the correct resources. You know, so the MPCM coming forward, it's something great. It's more like it's God's work.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Ziggy, I'm so excited for what you're doing for this couch, but more importantly, what you're doing for the community. So thank you for just sharing with us a bit about your passion, your heart, and what you do. And if somebody wants to get you to come and refurbish their furniture, how do they go about it?
I'm always available on all social networks. Like, for instance, on Facebook, it's Zibele Zikisabisa, which is Zibele Sabisa, Ziggy. And then on Instagram, it's Ziggy Sabs, which is it's Ziggy Ziggy Zee, then Sabs.
Okay.
And yeah, that's about it, because I don't remember my Twitter handle. That's the thing.
And what you said as well is, if somebody's got like a set that they want refurbished, you're willing to bring your tools and your equipment
Exactly.
and come and do it at their premises as well.
Exactly.
So people don't even need to organize somebody to take the couches to you. You'll come in and do the work there.
Exactly, especially on faraway places, because I do consider the part where one has to accommodate the transportation. You know what I mean? If somebody is at Seaview, it's totally unreasonable for me to say, no, bring your couches over.
Yeah.
Whereas I can accommodate that person, take my tools and go there and say, if the work is going to take 2 to 3 days, then I'll just be on that side. Do the work, then whenever it's done, I know that we're all set.
Awesome, Ziggy. It's so great. Thank you very much for spending your time with us.
pleasure.
And
Thanks to you too.
if you want to get hold of Ziggy, we'll post that as part of the video, put those contact details on there for you, so you can have your couches restored by a professional.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a great week. It's my tagline, and I forgot it.